No, but for real quick, real talk. So, I mean, I'm gonna probably put some gameplay up on the screen or something. And I don't even know why I got my headphones on, like I'm listening to something, but they're on. Ba-da-ba-da-ba. Ba-da-ba-da-ba. I can't wait to see the comments telling me I'm a oh, half a man. Can't wait to call me everything but a child. Everything but a child of God. So, first off, let me go into why I wanted to start making this video. Basically, wait, what time is it? 2:27? Alright, I'm good. I'm chilling. I got an interview later. I don't even know why I got these headphones on for real. But basically, I wanted to make this video because I noticed like this trend online of women like talking down on men because they got proposed to by their girl instead of them proposing to their girl. You know, they want us to get on the dirty ass ground, but if you tell them to get on the dirty ass ground, it's a problem. Double standards. But like one thing like I will say about why I wanted to start this video is it's not for me to come on here and rant and say, oh, I hate this, I hate that, I hate this, and rant. It's more so to open up. It's more of like a think piece, I'll say. It's not as coordinated as most think pieces, but it's just something to think about. Somebody telling a different side of the story than what everybody else is thinking, or what everybody else basically is already thinking. But basically, there's been this trend going on around online. Well, not really trend, but there's been this thing I've been seeing online recently. Phone, if you want to shut your ass up. Basically, what I was saying is there's this thing going on around Twitter where there's been Twitter, Instagram, the two platforms I'm mainly on besides YouTube, where people were insulting and talking down on men that got proposed to by their women. And I just wanted to come up here and share my thoughts about it. Now, first, before I do that, I'm gonna tell you the general consensus as by what I've seen and like in real life and on Twitter and Instagram. But generally the consensus is that man gets on his knees on the dirty ass ground and proposes to women. Traditionally speaking, we live in 2021. This is a time of non-tradition. Let's say, for example, now versus like the 60s. In the 1960s, if there was a gay character in the show, they were there as a joke. Like, haha, you're gay. That's pretty much what it was. Now in 2021, we have shows like Modern Family where they have extremely flamboyant homosexual males on the screen as lead roles, and they're gay and they're there and they make jokes about it, but the joke isn't that they're gay. Times have changed, times have shifted. Just wanted to put that out there first. Number one. Number two, I can understand why people may think this way, but I quite frankly feel different. Me, see, one thing, this is more of like what made me, what my thoughts are. Because what made me make the video is I was like, wow, this would be a great topic to talk about because like there are really lots of topics where I have a opinion that differs heavily from what the general opinion is. But if I tell somebody my opinion out of context, everybody's, oh, you're stupid, you're dumb, you don't know what you're talking about, blah, 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 blah. But if I was to sit here and take a second to explain for 2 seconds what I meant when I said what I said because it was misunderstood, most of the time when I am able to do that, people are like, you know, even though I'm not, well, the mature ones, even though I'm not able to agree, I can see where you're coming from. And that's all I hope to do with this video, help you see where I'm coming from. Now, one thing I realize about like people in general is sometimes people want things not because they actually want them, but just to say, I got it. For example, marriage. With this whole situation, this is showing me that like, all right, for example, let's say having a significant other. Some people know good and well they're not in the position to support a significant other, but they still gonna get a significant other, and then when the relationship crashes and burns because of things like trust and relationship issues, when they both know, or one of them know good and goddamn well that they are not emotionally grown enough or willing to grow enough with that person to be able to go into a relationship with that person, they'll still get in a relationship for the sake of just not looking like a dry dick nigga, when it's like, that's not what that means. Times have changed, tradition is different, and a lot of people are traditional, and I understand why. Me, not always. Like, for example, homosexual people in modern media. Let's say in the 60s, maybe even the 80s, if there was a character on a show that was gay, the joke was that they were gay and probably nothing else. Nowadays, if you do that, you'd get canceled. Nowadays, there's shows like Modern Family and P-Valley, or even Empire, where there are prominent characters of the story that are homosexual, and they show the homosexuality in there. Now, at the same time, is it okay for them to do that? Yes, because if I was to say it's not okay for them to do that, then I would have to look at it like, well, then Empire as a show is not okay, because traditionally black people have been oppressed out of society, and their representation in media is very skewed, even to this day, still some, but still. So to me personally, I think something like that is kind of a double standard. I feel like it's one of those, oh, I don't like it, so it's wrong kind of things, where it should be more of a, well, if I was in that position with my current life, even if I'm not part of that lifestyle or whatnot, how would I feel? And like I said, that's how I compare it to like the black people in media thing. Me being a black person, seeing black people in media, I enjoy to see it. Now, if I was a if let's say I was a whole ass racist, oh, I hate black people, I don't want to see darkness on my screen. All I gotta do is just change the channel when I see. Same thing with me, a heterosexual male, seeing homosexual shit on my screen. If I don't want to see it, I just change the channel. I feel like not enough people realize that there's a channel up, channel down button on your remote, or a TV on, TV off button on your remote. If you don't want to see the homosexual scenes, cut them off. Wait a couple minutes, turn it back on, see if it's over. Oh, it's not back, it's not off. Turn it back off. Simple. But some people, from what I know, would rather just complain. Some people just like things to complain about. But I'm rambling, which is why I restarted the recording. And I'm rambling a bit, and let me get back on focus. But basically what I'm trying to say is not like a whole discussion about black people or gay people or representation of media, blah, 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 blah. Basically what I'm trying to say is I want to provide a different side to the story. Now, the general consensus on women proposing to their men is that nigga's a bitch ass nigga for letting his girl propose to him. To me, I feel like it's more masculine for your woman to propose to you, because you exuded so much positive energy. You positively impacted her life to the point to where she was willing to to where she was willing to break traditional norms, which would be for you to get on your knees on that dirty ass ground and propose to her, and for her instead to get on her knees and propose to you. I feel like, to me, that's how I look at it. And I feel like a woman proposing to you is more masculine than the other way around. Number one. Number two, one thing I'm noticing is, like, and I'm like, even with, let's say, the video game clip, like, I'll show a screenshot on screen because I don't want to get copyrighted for that. But if you know what that clip is, if not, I might link it down below. Probably not. But basically what was going on in that podcast is they was talking about men in video games, and a lot of people highly disagreed with this with that take that all men that play video games, they were saying that all men that play video games have bad D. All they do is talk about the video game. And it's like, I know plenty of dudes that play video games barely talk about video games when they're not in front of the game or they're not asking somebody, you want to go play a Fortnite or Trash K? So with those arguments and statements, I felt like it was really biased and one-sided, and it was one of those, no, it's not that there aren't any good men in the world, it's that you ain't find any good men in the world. It's not that they don't exist, it's just that you didn't find them. There's a difference. And I feel like it's one of those kind of situations in a way, if that makes sense. Like, basically what I'm trying to say is some people just want things to want them. Like, for example, some people are in love with the idea of being in love, just as an example. And that's what I think it is mostly with this marriage thing of women having too much pride to marry a man instead of a man marrying them. Some women just want to be married just to be like, hey girlfriend, look at the ring on my finger, I'm married, yes. When really marriage is supposed to be a thing of love, ABCD. From what I noticed, most people are more, let's say, in love with the idea of love than, for example, actually wanting something for a specific particular reason. So let's apply that to the current thing I'm talking about. Instead of people wanting to get married because, you know, marriage is supposed to be about love and XYZ, like, and some people look at it as marriage is like is a business partnership that you're going into with somebody, which me personally, I feel like if you're marrying for business purposes, technically you're going through the process of marriage, but that's not really marriage because you're doing it for money. If y'all love each other, y'all wouldn't do it for money. Money's gonna be involved to some extent, but y'all not gonna do it for money, if that makes sense. But back on topic, I feel like most women just want to get married, like I said, just to be married, just to say, yes, I'm married, look at the diamond on my finger, instead of actually wanting to marry somebody for love. And as I said earlier, I don't know if I cut that part out or not, but as I said earlier, woman to be willing to get down on her knees in her Chanel dress, put her Chanel bag on the floor, open up that box that she paid $10,000 for, or however much for, probably still got it on a payment plan, and go, will you marry me? Because that means you've had so much of a positive impact on her life to the point to where she's willing to get on her knees and pop the ring open for you. That's pretty masculine energy to me. I just wanted to present my ideas on the situation and how I feel and how I view the situation, and not so much of a put together way, but more of an explanative way than just, yeah, this is wrong, this is right. Because I feel like, especially on a platform like Twitter with their character limits and their video file size limits, there's not enough time or not enough characters for you to be able to say exactly what you want. And if there were enough characters for you to say what you want, nobody cares hard enough to read all that shit, I promise you. So I wanted to put it in a video format so that I could show y'all, you know, do a quick couple edits, hop back on this channel because I haven't been on here in a while because the April podcast, some quick channel updates, the April podcast, the audio for it, all fucked up, both versions on stream and the version I recorded on my computer. So that's a L. But on the other hand, new podcast coming this month. I haven't filmed or recorded it yet, but new podcast episode coming this month. And yeah, that's about it for this video. Peace out, y'all. Like, subscribe, share this with somebody else. Maybe introduce, because I don't want to say change because that seems very forceful and seems like kind of, you have to believe this, you have to believe you could think how I think, or you could not think how I think. It's not that serious of a fucking issue. Well, it stems from serious issues, but this particular issue is just a leaf on the tree. It's not the trunk of the tree. You know what I mean? But show this video to somebody, maybe introduce a different point of view to theirs, and yeah. Don't forget to eat the booty like a bunny. Like, share, subscribe. Peace.